All right. With the expedition reported being missing after missing their last two check-ins, Admiral Nea has asked for the assistance of one Admiral Haggard, and she invited the Admiral to meet her at her office on Starbase Aegis. If I could find where that's at, this one will work. And Admiral Haggard, you stroll outside of Admiral Nea's office, having decided to walk yourself from the transporter pad up to her office.
I'll ring the call bell.
Come in. And Admiral Nea stands up when you enter. Admiral Haggard, thank you for joining me.
Of course, Admiral. Hope I can help.
Yes, Admiral. I think I have a very important mission for you, if you would accept.
Well, I'm at your service. Coffee, black, hot. Good to be an admiral. You can just make yourself at home anywhere.
Of course. Admiral, I'm not sure if you heard, but the USS Expedition has gone missing near the Ebon Expanse. She has missed her last few check-ins.
I think I remember reading something about that in the daily fleet briefings. Any clue as to what happened?
She was on a mission to map subspace eddies emanating from the Expanse, but we're at a loss as to what happened to her.
Do you want me to take the Argo out to try and find her?
Actually, no, Admiral. We actually have a new starship that we are ready to launch from Starbase 17 to do just that. However, what we feel is we don't need another ship searching. What we need is a person to help search.
Haggard kind of frowns and takes a sip of his coffee. All right, you're going to have to explain that a little deeper, Admiral.
From what I understand, Admiral, you are intimately familiar with Azril Prax, the former captain of the USS Expedition?
Okay, as a player, am I?
Yes.
Okay.
Prax name drops you all the time.
Okay.
The host, you've dealt with the host and the symbiote, the symbiote frequently in the past, so you know what about the symbiote.
Yeah, I remember running a symbiote. Yes, the Prax symbiote I'm very familiar with over the years. I don't know that I've ever had the opportunity to meet Azril. Wasn't she in command of the expedition?
You are correct, Admiral. However, she, without notice, resigned her commission from Starfleet about 9 months ago.
Did she give any reason?
None to us, Admiral. But given Captain Prax's familiarity with the expedition and her familiarity with the expedition's new captain, Captain Felix Morgan, we thought that she might be a good advisor on this run for this mission.
Does Haggard know anything about Captain Morgan's record? And for that matter, from Captain Azril Prax's record?
Captain
Like
Morgan in passing. You've met him a few times on a few banquets on Earth.
what's his
Kind of
what's
a
his
brown noser.
reputation? Kind of a brown noser. There you go. Okay.
And then Captain Prax's record has been pretty spotless.
Zap Brannigan, only less competent. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I think that describes Morgan pretty aptly.
All right, Admiral. So you're wanting me to ride along with this new crew to try and no, I'm sorry, I'm not tracking well tonight. So you want me to travel to where Azril Prax is currently and try and convince her to come back and join the search for the expedition?
As an advisor, that is correct, Admiral. Luckily, we had the USS Tiananmen working on Prax's location, and they do believe that they have located her.
Where?
She's on a nearby colony called New Manevri, one of the new Trill colonies in the area.
Now the Trill. They took to the Federation like fish in water. Very well, Admiral. I'll head back to the Argo and see what I can do. Where do you want me to deliver Consultant Prax should they agree to your proposal?
If you would, bringing her back here, Admiral, for a proper briefing on the subject before we have her go to Starbase 17.
And you have no idea why she resigned. As I recall, her record is very impressive.
Unfortunately, we do not, Admiral. Something must have happened after the peace and trade negotiation, or the trade negotiations with oh crap, I'm brain farting their name.
Vorkala,
that's it. For some reason I was thinking Lorica, but that I knew that wasn't it. After the trade agreements with the Vorkala.
Well, did you have any interaction with her before she left, but after those negotiations? Can you give me any idea of what her state of mind or emotional state was?
Unfortunately, no, Admiral. No one has had contact with her since she left Deep Space 17 9 months ago. It was only through one of her old contacts were we even able to locate where she was.
Sounds like she was doing her best not to be found.
Agreed, Admiral.
Do you think that her assistance is vital enough to justify breaking into that level of privacy? I mean, if she doesn't want to be part of Starfleet and obviously doesn't want Starfleet to come calling.
As you know, Admiral, a Sovereign-class starship just disappearing is not a everyday occurrence. We're trying to expend every available resource in order to locate the expedition and bring her back safely.
Fair enough.
And we figure someone with your diplomatic skill should be able to convince her to assist us one last time.
Well, I'll certainly try, Admiral. If there's nothing else, I'll be about it.
Thank you, sir.
I'll set my empty coffee cup on the desk and head out. nice model of my ship you got there.
I know, this is an old one. Where's the door switch? There it is. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta find something. There it is. All right, what do you do from here, Admiral?
Well, I know where she is. I was muted, and her general location and what ship's been looking for, and that thinks they found her. So I will head back to the Argo, make sure that any necessary resupply that was happening while we were at Aegis is taken care of, and give orders to cast off and head and plot a course to New Minri. Is that right?
Manevri.
Manevri.
I'll spell it out for you.
And once we're headed in that direction, I will hail the Tiananmen.
All right. Let me go ahead and set up the Tiananmen for you. Brad DeGrasse is not here, so I'll have to play him. All right, on board the... Wait, I technically have a first officer. Yeah. Sorry, I was not expecting to use the Tiananmen today.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to throw a wrench into things.
Oh, no
But
worries.
I'm a player. It's what we do.
All right, on board the Tiananmen. Commander Riel? Is that how you'd say that, Nadine?
Yes.
You have control of the ship as Captain DeGrasse is down with Tarkarnian flu when your ship is being hailed by the Argo.
On screen?
And on screen appears one Admiral Haggard.
This is Ulysses Haggard aboard the starship Argo.
Greetings, Admiral Haggard. To what do we owe the honor?
I understand that you've located Azril Prax. I understand she's on New Manevri, but I was hoping you could give me a more granular location if possible. It seems I'm to try and fetch her back to help find the expedition.
I see. Well, I imagine if it wasn't an emergency, Admiral, you wouldn't be... pushing her to come back.
The same question I asked Admiral Nia. And believe me, I have business in and around Deep Space Arcadia that I'd rather be taking care of, but needs must when the Federation, when Starfleet calls.
Of course, Admiral. There is her location is approximately 2 kilometers outside of the city. I'll send you the coordinates. Or rather, I'll have our con officer send you the coordinates.
Excellent. I don't suppose you'd care to, or would be able to shed any light on exactly why she resigned suddenly?
I've had very little direct interaction with the captain. Unfortunately, she seemed quite competent when I interacted with her, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
Oh well, it's worth a shot.
I
Have your ops send those coordinates over.
Of course. Our captain is he's indisposed at the moment, a bit of the flu, but he was shocked by it, and he was quite close with her. Even served as her XO for a few years, if memory serves.
Well, I can't say I know Azril very well, but I've known Prax for longer than I'd like to think about. And knowing the symbiote and the Azril Prax record, it surprises me. Well, we'll see if I can't talk her into coming back.
Best of luck, Admiral.
Argo out. And then I'll check fleet records and see who was serving with Captain Prax 9-ish, 10-ish months ago, and who might still be contactable.
All right, go ahead and give me a controller insight command if one.
Oh, come on, what? Hold on, Roll20's being weird with
Might
my
as well
sheet.
give you the opportunity to roll some dice.
Heck yeah. I'll spend a determination. Hold on.
Get him some momentum for later.
That's right. Let me find him again.
Speaking of which, I should give you threat. Threat's important.
Roll20's being weird with my sheet. Let me see if I can find him again and pull him back up. Man, there are a lot of characters in this game.
Yep. Which is odd
There
since
he
I think
is.
it's only 2 ships.
Weird.
A lot of
had that
stuff.
completely minimized.
A lot of the stuff is leftovers from the Argo and the Valor
Nice.
in DS17. So,
what was the roll again, GM?
Controller insight with command, I believe I said.
Okay, insight definitely is going to be the way to go. Sorry, just reading my...
And you were looking for who served with the captain on the expedition, right?
And more importantly, who still surrounded might be contactable.
Gotcha.
What's my diff?
Oh, 1.
Okay. I'll give you a threat just for a third die and bold. See if I can't earn some momentum. Actually, do not think I have a focus for this. So. Gain 2. Oh, God, sorry. I'm so used to keeping... Sorry, Prax.
it's okay.
I like my fancy new bridge.
Just trying to make sure I get everybody clear.
Oh, look at all the panels my seat has now.
Oh, I gained 2 momentum.
Yep.
I feel like I'm missing somebody. Caissie, DeGrasse, Nadon.
Pearson.
Nope, got him.
Okay, I didn't hear you say his name.
No, I got Mendrock. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's all of them.
Okay, so it doesn't look like I can contact anybody. I will have a conversation with myself. Although I think Blackwell's on Earth at Starfleet Medical, which is just as far as Utopia Planitia.
What was that, Admiral?
I mean, Blackwell's at Starfleet Medical on Earth, so that's just as far as Utopia Planitia.
Yeah.
And he left long before whatever happened.
Yeah, very true.
All right, then. Well,
fortunately, the best person would be to cross, but
no, that's fine. So
that who's really kicking his butt.
We'll head over to Newman Every, and Haggard will beam down to the location that we got from Tiananmen.
All right. Fast forward a little bit. You beam down to the location you got from the Tiananmen with a small away team.
Well, I figured I would probably just go myself. I'm not trying to, show up with. Yeah.
Then we'll delete the away team.
I've still got mean right hook. I may be 100 and something, but I'll take you down. All right, so what am I looking at?
Yeah, it's basically just like a wooden cabin. You find yourself, at the front door. It's outside the town. You kind of hear a beach off in the distance. Nice. The planet itself is a jungle-like planet, so you get to hear the wildlife, the birds buzzing. Lots of bugs floating around.
Huh.
And it's pretty warm and humid.
Fortunately, Starfleet uniforms are designed to wick moisture. I will look for a door chime, knocker, or whatever. Failing that, I'll just knock on the door.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. So, Prax, you hear a knock at your door.
She approaches and opens the door.
You see old ass Admiral Haggard. Prax?
Ulysses, come in.
Thanks. Wow, nice place you've got.
Took a little bit to get built. Tea?
Love some. I don't suppose you have coffee.
Unfortunately, it doesn't grow in this climate.
Wow, you would think this would be perfect for Sumatran. But sure, tea would be great. Is the corgi and the child... Are the corgi and the child actually here?
Yes.
And who's this?
That's Caissie and Jesu, and she hands you a small cup with tea in it.
Oh, thanks. You'll excuse me. Caissie is the little girl and Jesu is the dog?
Yes.
Okay.
To what do I owe the pleasure, Ulysses? It's not every day that an old sailor such as yourself steps onto my doorstep.
That's fair. I take a sip of tea and kind of murmur appreciatively. Well, I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
You're here for the cup of tea.
If only. Honestly, if I known you were in a place like this, I might have come by sooner. Naya called me. And I was just getting close to Wartburg, finally.
I'm sorry to take you away from that. I know that's been if memory serves, he was a good friend to you.
Still is, and just can't seem to stay out of trouble. But that's neither here nor there. I understand you up and resigned a few months ago.
Yes, 9 months ago. Been enjoying the quiet life.
Thought about it once or twice. Never could quite make the jump, though. Good for you if you can. So, it seems your old ship has gone missing.
The
Expedition. And Starfleet wants you to join the crew that's going to be searching her as a civilian consultant. Nia seems to think that you might be able to aid in the search.
Well, I'm sure there are plenty of schematics and design blueprints on the Expedition. Modifications done to her warp core, they could easily consult Mendrak on, unless he remain on the ship.
No, Mendrak's about the only member of your old crew who isn't either missing or sick. But unfortunately, he's currently stationed at Utopia Planitia, not exactly within range for a quick back and forth. There's some urgency to it. The expedition missed her last 2 check-ins, and as you know, Starfleet gets awfully concerned when one of the latest top-of-the-line ship goes missing.
There has to be more to that than wanting me to consult on the Expedition.
That's what they told me, Prax. Something about Morgan had been Captain Morgan had been put in command of the expedition, although Lord knows why Starfleet would put a top ship of the line in that little brown noser's hands. Forgive my French.
Well, brown noser is a polite word for him. By all means, why the hell did they give my ship to him?
I don't know the man beyond meeting him at a few official functions where I found him a little bit too obsequious and definitely not an officer I ever wanted under my command. But apparently you know him more than I do. Maybe that's also why they want you.
Well, I served under him, and he's a hardliner.
How so?
He does things very much his way or not at all, and consequences be damned.
Ah, one of those. Despite how many times we keep adjusting the psych profiles, they always slip through. Somehow, a few.
Well, when he's not done bullying the crew, he's also charming his way up with the higher-ups. So.
Political officer. Not political officer, but you know, that's where he gets where he's going. So, in any event, Admiral Naya thinks that you would provide useful insight and assistance in finding the expedition. I take it that you're not at all eager to resume a relationship with Starfleet.
Not after what happened.
Well, why don't we start there? Why don't you tell me?
I seem to recall you've had your fair share runabouts with certain temporal phenomenon.
I've got so many different timelines in my mind that some days I wake up, I'm not sure when I am. So, what happened? Where did you wind up? Or when?
I spent in an alternate timeline a fair amount of my life. I was in command of the expedition, but I also had a family, a son and daughter, to be precise. And unfortunately, but due to circumstances and the change of the timeline, which after we formulated a plan to transfer our memories into the past to sort of save the future, so to speak, from an organization calling themselves the Jinkari. And doing so, the Department of Temporal Investigations struck a deal after we stopped a doomsday device, run-of-the-mill, typical, Thursday for Starfleet. And I did not wish to have my memories suppressed. Unfortunately, the TTI forced the memory suppression technique on me, and when it finally went away, I remembered everything, and the next thing I know, we were signing a non-aggression pact and treaty with the Vorkala and the Jinkari, who nearly destroyed the Federation. All the while, the timeline being manipulated by other people who, frankly, didn't care what I had to say on the matter or how it affected my life. So I had enough and I left.
Wait a minute. The Department of Temporal Investigations forced memory suppression on you?
Yes, in order to safeguard the timeline from being altered.
Prax, I've got security clearances for my security clearances, and I'm pretty damn sure that they don't have the authority to force memory suppression on anyone. Somebody's getting a little too big for their britches, as my mother used to say.
It was all for the sake for preserving the timeline. At least that's their motive on the issue.
Well, I may have to see about that. Well, and your son and your daughter in this alternate timeline?
They do not exist anymore. As you can see, it took quite a toll on me.
I'm sorry. And go ahead.
It's a little hard to mourn someone when you don't and all you have is memories of them and nothing to cling on to.
I'm so sorry. And in your position, I can't even begin to blame you for not wanting to have anything to do with Starfleet or the Federation. And from my perspective, what TMI managed to do was lose us a damn fine captain. But I also know that you were such a good captain that you're not one to let your crew, assuming that the expedition is still at least somewhat whole, go missing. Maybe for good. They're not asking you to come back into the service. just to consult. And from what you say about Morgan, if they are still alive and the ship is still in relatively one piece, Morgan's not going to do much, not going to be able to do much to get them out of whatever situation they're in.
Caissie, why don't you go into your room for a moment and take Jesse with you?
Okay.
You hear the door slam of the room back here.
The door I forgot to put on the map. Whoops. I want certain reassurances, Admiral.
Go ahead.
It's... If I'm going to help with this, I don't want to be stuck in some office somewhere relaying orders to the search teams.
All right. I think we can get you up front and center and on the away teams.
The other thing is, have you heard anything about a new type of slave trade by chance?
GM?
Where are you?
In your messages.
Ah, thank you. No, I haven't seen anything come through the classified reports, and I've been out rimward for quite some time. What's happening?
It's probably just my imagination, but no. I want to talk to Nea though first before we head to wherever the expedition has gone missing. Where was she last patrolling at?
They were assigned to mapping subspace eddies in the Epin expanse.
Well, that would put station keeping over at DS-17 under Admiral Keller.
Yep. Nia wanted me to deliver you back to Aegis if you agreed to come before they sent you over to 17, where they have the ship and crew waiting.
Give me an hour. I need to pack some of my things.
Sure. And you have the names of any of those temporal agents that you dealt with?
They don't like to give out their names, unfortunately. Hence my disdain.
I can't say I blame you there. But yes, we'll I'll make sure that you are not left behind in some office or pacing a bridge. I think at this point I'm almost the senior most admiral in Starfleet and have enough experience and know enough secrets to easily pull that.
I have a communications panel. I'll hail. Is it still the Argo?
Of course, you didn't think I'd let them take her away from me, did you? All right, I'll see you in orbit, and I will exit because it's rude to just beam up out of somebody's house and then get beamed up. And while Haggard's waiting for Prax, I will start the process of using every friend and favor and whatnot that I can pull to jerk the chain of the temporal investigations, and particularly to have the chain of those whoever was responsible for forcing memory suppression on Prax brought to heel and hopefully court-martialed. In fact, I will even pull the Trill into this, since the original Argo was one of the people fundamental to bringing and keeping the Trill into the Federation. But yeah, Haggard's going to absolutely raise hell on every possible level about that.
And I'm sure they'll feel every ounce of that hell that you bring.
I'm just putting it out there in case you want to do anything with it.
I will have you do an advantage roll, and then maybe that could help them or deter them in the future.
Okay. What you want me to roll?
Presence command if 2.
You know what? I'll spend a determination towards never start a fight, but always finish it.
I'll accept that.
And I'll give you 2 threat for the third die in bold.
Yeah, gain 3 more.
Reroll the whiff. 3, that's
Yep.
5.
Yep, gain 3.
Oh, no, I did that.
So yeah, so I'll have you create an advantage for sometime in the future. Basically stating that Admiral Haggard was raising hell in the DTI. So I'll let them use that whenever they see fit in the future.
Cool. Maybe Prax can have a little revenge.
We could probably go back to your bridge. I noticed that there's no con officer there.
That's okay.
I'll populate your ship.
There you go.
I think I need one more. There we go.
Yeah. Haggard's control and daring ain't what it used to be. Happens once you pass 110.
You're just glad you could sit up straight in the chair.
It's almost the 25th century, man. It's better than that.
Prax, are you doing anything special on the planet?
Packing her bags.
Alrighty. Probably about a good hour and a half go by, and Admiral Haggard, you are met by Prax on the bridge.
Permission to step on the bridge, Admiral.
Permission granted.
Wow, this brings back memories.
Ooh, that's what I could do. The con is left open.
Ah. I saved you a seat. There's been a few upgrades, but nothing you can't handle.
I haven't touched the con in quite a while. I'll try not to scratch the paint.
See that you don't. Laying a course for Starbase Aegis Warp 8. I think that's God, it's been so long I didn't remember the basic cruising speed.
Is there a roll?
Yeah, I'll give you a roll. This will be daring or control with con. Difficulty 1.
I will spend a momentum just in case, because she's a little rusty.
That's why it's a diff 1. Assisted by the ship's engines con.
Wow, that dice spin really
Did not help you.
did not.
Starship task roll. Whoa.
Well,
Well, you gain a momentum.
I'm gonna buy off the one and then I'll get the other.
Oh well.
Don't want to break
All
the
right,
Admiral
so,
ship.
Are both bought off?
Yeah, both are bought off.
Okay. So, Prax, you notice that the engines might be a touch sluggish. You know, the ship is really starting to show her age here, but you're able to bring it to Starbase Aegis.
Show her age. That's what was the last thing that a lot of Dominion ships thought. Build an Excelsior class.
Well, when Starfleet needs all their ships brought back, you know, they can't really be picky.
Not too bad for a 95-year-old ship.
Excelsior's still got 3 refit cycles left to go. She's not near the end of her space frame life expectancy. She's a good ship.
Couldn't agree more.
Managed to give some Section 31 thugs the what for not terribly long ago. Down when Tiger Squadron was rimward.
All right, so for the interest of time, we'll go ahead and drop you out of warp just outside the starbase. I don't know what happened to my warp exit noise. There we go. That might have TNG warp exit.
All right. Prax, would you care to beam over with me?
Yes, I'd love to. Considering I need to speak with the Admiral in person anyway.
Think I'll have a word with her too. So yeah, I'll escort Prax down to the transporter room and beam over to Aegis. And ring the bell.
Enter.
Gesture Prax ahead. Walk in. Admiral.
Admiral Prax.
Federation Citizen Prax has graciously agreed to lend her expertise to Starfleet in this matter. I have assured the consultant here that she will not find herself in some sort of office or pacing a bridge while others are left in charge of rescuing or discovering the whereabouts of her crew. I am sure that you will not make me a liar. In fact, I guaranteed the consultant that she would be a part of any necessary away teams.
We only had in mind of her being an advisor, Admiral. What did you have in mind?
Well, I'm sure that you're aware that an advisor is often most useful actually in the field, in the front line, as it were. These are her. This is her old crew, Admiral, and her friends. And far better for all concerned if she is able to advise as necessary and with the immediacy that might be necessary in this kind of mission, particularly since Starfleet has seen so fit to give command of the expedition to Captain Morgan, who is not nearly the sea dog that the rum he's named after is.
Admiral Dad just looks confused at the reference.
Haggard shakes his head. In any event, I want Prax to be right there in the thick of things. 9 months is not enough to wear off her training and experience, and certainly not enough to wear off the experience of the many lifetimes that the symbiote possesses. Leaving an advisor of this quality and capability in some office or back seat would be a tragic mistake. You're the one who told me that every effort's being made to rescue this top-of-the-line starship. Well, I'm telling you that every effort includes putting this woman where she can do the most good. I'm sure you will agree, Admiral.
What did you have in mind?
I kind of look at Prax.
What ship am I going to be placed on, Admiral?
We are preparing launch of a brand new Intrepid, the USS Byron.
Who's the commanding officer of that ship?
Currently, she is unassigned of a CO. We had to push up the launch due to the expedition going missing.
And what about her XO?
We were going to leave the ship in command of... who would be... Hold on, sorry. Lieutenant Commander Krim.
An expedition, if you'll pardon the pun, to rescue the expedition one of, as you said, Starfleet's most advanced starships, in the hands of a lieutenant commander who I'm sure is a fine officer, but probably doesn't have anywhere near the experience that a long-serving former Starfleet captain does. If Azril Prax is agreeable, we could temporarily, of course, Prax, move you from the inactive reserve list to the active reserve list and put you in temporary command. You'd still be in the reserves and technically not all the way back in the service, but that active status would give you the rank and seniority necessary to command such a vessel. And before you say anything, Admiral, you can't deny that she's fully qualified. And without going into classified materials, let me just say that were I in her shoes, I would have probably reacted the exact same way, knowing what I know, only there would have been a lot more broken jaws in the picture. So, with the fuss I intend to raise, and have already begun raising, in the hallowed halls of Starfleet Command and the diplomatic halls of the Federation Council, it might be both expedient, wise, and the right thing to do to put this mission in the command of Reserve Captain Azril Prax.
Give me presence command. This is probably going to be opposed. Unfortunately, she doesn't have stats for some reason.
Okay, well, I need to roll my veteran then. Nope, do not get it back. Presence command opposed. I can do that.
We never got around to it. Okay, I'll just say it is a 11 and a 4, so 15.
Okay.
And I'll spend a couple threat on this.
Okay.
3 to be precise.
I'll give you 6 and roll a full deck.
That works for me.
And I think I'm going to be using persuasion or politics, because I am kind of throwing my political weight around here as well as just being persuasive.
Yes.
Okay. Presence command. Got bold. Let's see what happens. I'll re-roll the whiff. 5.
Oh. Admiral, you do make a compelling argument. If Azril Prax is agreeable to this, I think we can live with the arrangement, albeit temporary.
I have someone I'll be bringing on board with me, though.
The Corgi? Haggard
2.
says with a grin.
Two, my dog and a child that I'm currently taking care of.
Seems well within a captain's prerogative.
As you know, space is dangerous.
Yes, that's why we have galaxy classes with 1,000 people on them. Space is so dangerous, the Federation believes.
What is your risk to take?
Good. Well, Admiral, if there's nothing else, I bid you adieu. I'll hold out my hand. Good luck, Captain Prax.
Thank you, Admiral.
Oh, and Admiral, have your engineer look at your replicator. The coffee's terrible. And I'll head back to the Argo and head back to swanning around the galaxy doing Haggard things.
When's the next vessel? I'm assuming, where is this, where is the Briar?
The Byron is being finished up at Deep Space 17. We have a vessel getting ready to leave within the hour.
I will have my things and transfer it from the Argo over to the transport.
Thank you, Captain.
She just nods and walks out.
All right. Admiral Haggard, that is all I needed you for. If there's anything else you would like to do before sailing off into the sunset.
No, I think I'm good. Thanks. That was a lot of fun. It was fun to help Prax get back in the captain's chair where she belongs. So, and don't forget the advantage of me raising hell in the background, guys, with temporal idiots. And thanks for letting me drop in on your game. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah, no, thank you. This was supposed to be DeGrasse, but the flu.
Yeah. All right. Night, everybody. Have a great game.
Sometime.
Thank you.
Night.
All right. We will enter scene number 2. So this is for Caissie, Nadon, Pearson. And I figured, Mendrock, you could probably grab a supporting character, and Captain, you as well. Pretty much whoever you wanted to play. As all of you successfully navigate and land your escape pods on that frozen L class, was it?
I think that's what you told me.
Yeah, a frozen, bitterly cold L class planet that Nadon was able to scan for before having to abandon, needing to abandon. What
It
was
was
that?
in class according to the messages from last week, or the last game week.
Did I say M class? Either way, it works. It's just cold, very, very cold. So let me throw some tokens down for you all. Let's see, there's Caissie. Just trying to navigate where, so a lot of these would be in Tiananmen, I believe, wherever that ship went off to.
It has to be in the Expedition folder, in the subfolder for there.
Right, where did Pearson go?
I'm pulling him out. I pulled him out of archive, so he's at the bottom of the list.
There we go. And then Mendrock, Captain, whoever you would like to play while on the planet surface.
Is this from the Expedition?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think Mendrock would have stuck around with that captain for too long.
Probably not. I need to go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty incompetent. I mean, I think Nadon nailed it. Zap Brannigan.
I guess.
Oh, and you guys gained 2 momentum from that last roll, and then you went down 1 for the new scene.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. All right, you were at 1 after all the. All right, everyone got their characters to play?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So all of your escape pods land on this bitterly cold planet. And as soon as the pods touched down, you could feel the cold seeping into your pods. We'll probably say like the bridge crew landed in one, the engineering crew landed in another, the doctor's crew landed in one. Should also add in Captain Morgan wherever his thing went.
He'd probably be with me because Caissie carried him out.
Where does his sheet go? Is it on the bottom? Captain Morgan, where are you?
Uh, 2371 maybe. Under NPCs.
Oh, there he is. And so, Caissie, in your pod, you'll hear Captain Morgan say, "Now look what you got us into, Caissie."
He's just going to ignore the rambling and stand up and is there some sort of like small terminal or something in the life pod?
Like a small navigation computer and communication array.
He's going to try and find like how close the other pods are, where they are relative to him.
Go ahead and give me a reason or control science or con difficulty. Let's say 1.
Okay. I'm not even going to bother spending anything because this is just like 9. I don't think I'm going to make it. Do I get lucky?
Oh, you gain a momentum out of it.
Holy crap, I only had 9.
Yeah, all the there are a few other escape pods around your general location. A few others are spread out, maybe a couple kilometers away. But for the most part, the vast majority, if they got away from the ship and away from the anomaly, landed probably within a 5-kilometer area around your pod.
Lieutenant Nadon, please try to establish communications with the other pods.
Yes, sir.
Are there any? I assume there's like some survival equipment in the lifeboat.
Some emergency rations, emergency water.
Any like environmental clothing?
Not really. I think you have like some environmental suits, but they're not really rated for this kind of weather.
Like EV suits or like desert suits?
Yeah, like EV suits.
Well, it's got to be warmer on this planet than space. Can I put on the EV suit with no helmet, or?
Probably could. But I'm gonna have you do an advantage creation for that to ensure that they are in working order and whatnot,
Okay.
and to ensure that you got enough. So probably let's go insight engineering.
Oh man, really pulling out my best stats here.
I mean, I'm not sold on the insight either. So if you think it could be something else, maybe presence
about-
engineering. A best order to make sure they're in
Sure.
working order.
Yep, sounds good. I'll do that. I'm just not focus. Was it a diff 1? Sorry.
It would be a diff 2.
Okay. Can I succeed at cost?
Yeah. The cost being that they'll only provide a temporary. They only provide a temporary power. A temporary heating power. That can maybe last a day or so.
Sounds good. All right. He'll pull out the EV suits then and give one to Nadon and the captain, and he'll say to the captain, "Here, these will keep us warm for an extra little bit. You need to remain here with your injuries. I'm going to go try and find some shelter nearby."
What do you mean you're stepping outside? Don't you know it's better to remain with your escape pods while waiting for rescue?
We have no idea when rescue is coming, if it's coming. We need a more sustainable solution than this. The EV suits are only going to provide us with about a day of warmth at best. Certainly won't be comfortable. We need a solution that could last us for weeks if necessary.
Sounds like your solution to get us all killed, Commander.
Well, if your solution is to sit here and wait, it seems we have about equal odds. I'm going to venture out and see what I can find. We aren't going to learn anything from here inside the pod. It has no functioning sensors. I'll check in through my comm badge at regular intervals.
You're a fool, Caissie.
Fortune favors the bold, so I hope. And he'll start exiting the pod, and he'll say to Nadon, "Please advise when you get established contact with the other pods. Try to get reports of any injuries, and those that are able to have them make their way towards this pod, unless they have injured that prevent them from moving. We'll deal with that afterward. As well, advise them to put on the EV suits to extend their..."
Be control engineering difficulty 2 for that roll, Nadon.
Okay.
And so Caissie, you step outside and you're just hit with this bitter cold, that you kind of feel on your face as you step out. The suit's is keeping you warm a little bit, but it's checking your tricorders. You're reading that is minus 50 degrees below minus 50 C, and that wind chill with the gust of winds, the wind chill could maybe bring it down to minus 75 to minus 80 degrees C. This is definitely not a place you want to stay for a long period of time.
He's going to pull out his tricorder and I guess take a look for any signs of, firstly, any like caves or anything like anywhere that could be a natural shelter.
All right, really quick. Nadon, are you letting those both stand? Because I think you're down to 1 momentum now.
Yeah, I don't. Can I spend a momentum to, or what would be involved in canceling them? Because I don't think I've got anything aside from my
At this point, reroll.
Yeah, I could spend my determination, I guess.
Yeah, that'd probably be the only way if you could get it.
Setbacks are lessons.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Shit, I've got to compensate for the cold weather causing thermal contraction.
Wait a minute. I think you had comp range set to high because you rolled a 19 and an 18.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
So it's not 2 complications, but you did fail the roll.
Yeah, I don't want to fail the roll, so I think I will still spend my determination if that's all right.
Yep. And I'll accept the value.
Sweet. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna spend threat here. You are able to get your comms working, but it is very limited. Some of the comms were damaged on reentry, so you have a very limited range of about 1 kilometer. Not enough to reach all the pods.
Alrighty. Nidan to Commander Caissie.
Commander Caissie here.
Hi, Commander. Thought I'd let you know we have communications up, but it appears that the transponder was damaged on reentry. We're limited to a range of about 1 kilometer for the time being.
Were you able to reach any of the other lifeboats?
Currently attempting. Certainly at least one of them is out beyond our range, but I'll try to get in touch with the others.
Very well. Keep me updated.
Hi, Commander. And I'll.
Yeah, so Dr. Pearson, you and a couple of your medical team are in a separate pod with a few injured, and then whatever these supporting characters are in another pod from the bridge. You all hear, you're all able to receive and communicate with each other via Nadon's communication. So if Nadon, you want to do that really quick for some RP opportunities.
Yeah. Nadon to other expedition pods. Come in.
This is Plan Night. I'm alive.
This is Pearson. Me and my medical team are down and alive, but cold.
Understood. The commander is wondering if you can make your way to our position. Are the folks on your pod ambulatory?
I should be able to make it to you without any issue.
Please make sure to bring any supplies that you can carry and wear your EV suit. That should help you stay warm.
Of course. She will suit up and grab here.
GM, from the landing, is everybody in my pod ambulatory and able to move?
Give me insight medicine difficulty 1.
Okay. I'm guessing xenobiology or emergency medicine probably would count.
I'll take emergency medicine.
Oop.
Yeah, Doctor, you got there. I'll take that, Caissie. Yeah, Doctor, yours are minor injuries, and Coda, everyone in your pod is fine.
We'll start heading your way, Lieutenant. It might take us a little bit, but we'll start heading that way.
Understood.
Ensign Coda to Commander Caissie.
Caissie here, go ahead.
Commander, we can't stay out here too long. We need to find shelter. Or attempt to make a shelter.
I'm working on that now, Lieutenant. For the time being, put on the EV suits and use them for warmth. Their charge should last us at least a day.
Be advised, we could also use the phasers potentially to heat some of the rocks to generate some heat.
Good idea, Lieutenant. Proceed with that as you find necessary.
Understood. Good luck, Commander.
Thank you.
You let the results stand, Caissie?
Yeah, but I spent my determination, so it's 3 successes.
Oh, right. I'll just say this to you. So Caissie, in one of the ravines between 2 of the ice shelves, that's maybe half a kilometer away, you do think that there's a series of openings in the ice that could provide adequate shelter from the wind.
Caissie will tap his comm badge. Yeah, this is Caissie to any expedition crew within range. I have located a potential cave in which we could take shelter. Begin heading there immediately. Bring all, if you need to, see if you can fashion a sled out of the bulkheads of the life pods. Use that to transport all of the equipment we can. We'll be needing survival rations, any generators, tarps, emergency tarps, any equipment along those lines. Make sure that you put on your EV suits as well. I estimate the temperature to be almost -70 with wind chill, and we don't know how cold it will get at night.
Understood, Commander.
Aye, Commander. Proceeding.
Jim, quick question. Am I alone in the pod with the captain?
You have the captain and probably a couple more crew members.
All right. I'll start directing the other crew members to try to fashion a sledge or something we can use to move the captain.
Okay. Give me presence engineering, I would say. I'll make this a difficulty 1. It shouldn't be too hard.
Sure. Improvisation, because we're basically just trying to scrap stuff together with local supplies and spare
Yeah.
parts that we can tear off the prod.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Cool.
Man, you guys are hitting these. You gain a momentum. And yeah, they're able to pull some of the paneling off. And then using other like wires and stuff, they're able to fetch and like a sled that they could grab onto and pull.
Alrighty. And then we'll try to get the captain into an EV suit and transfer him to the sledge.
All right. So as you try to approach the captain with the EVC, he says, "No, I'm not going anywhere. The ideal situation is to remain here and wait for rescue. They're going to be looking for the pods.
Yes, Captain, which is why we're going to provide a trail to the cave.
They're never going to
What?
find you in a cave network here. He's leading us into a death trap. Don't you see that?
With all due respect, Captain, that was what you did.
I made all the right moves, Lieutenant. It's Caissie who failed. He has failed and sabotaged my command at every turn.
Commander Caissie is the only reason we're not all dead, Captain. Now, if you wish to stay here, you're welcome to. I am leaving.
Staying here is better than being led into that death trap. Mark my words, Lieutenant, you will regret following him to your death.
On to Commander Caissie.
Caissie here, go ahead.
The captain is refusing to be transported to the cave. He wishes to stay at the pod.
And imagined as such. Proceed on your own. I'll go back for the captain.
Sorry, say again.
Proceed on your own. I will return to the pod and get the captain.
Of course, Commander. Before I leave, I'll make sure to activate the emergency beacon. I think this captain's an idiot, but I don't want him to die.
All right, go ahead and give me control or daring engineering difficulty 2 to set up the emergency beacon.
Alrighty. Control engineering. I'll spend a momentum for an extra die. Would my focus and computer supply?
I don't think so. I think this is more communications.
Okay.
But if you could sell me on it.
No, I was more curious.
Oh, you rolled. Gain a momentum back. And yeah, you're able to activate the emergency beacon before heading out. And so when you step out, you notice that the doctor, his medical team, Coda, and is that Mara? Have made it over to your sled, and you see Caissie walking back in the distance? Or what were you doing, Caissie, after you found the caves?
So he sent the coordinates to everyone and had them bring all the gear that they could find from, like all the gear basically that they could strip from the escape pods and put it onto sleds to take to the shelter and start setting up like a base, essentially,
Okay.
in the cave.
All right. What were you doing?
Yeah, he was going to go back to have a word with the captain.
Okay. Caissie, can you give me a fitness security difficulty 1? I'm going to spend threat and make this roll comp 3.
Nidan will look over at the doctor and say, Doctor, the captain has some significant injuries. We may wish to assure that he's of sound mind before we leave him in the pod per his request.
Understandable. I'll take a look real quick.
Would you accept composure for focus?
No, I don't think so.
It was difficulty 2, right?
Yeah. No, 1, difficulty 1, comp 3.
Okay. Take a threat anyway. With a reroll.
Gain 2. Oh yeah, Caissie, you make it back to the group. You see the doctor heading toward the escape pod you landed on.
Is he like close to me, like I can talk to him?
Yeah, so you and the doctor are probably outside the pod.
I imagine he may have been informed, but the captain refused to go with us. Become increasingly stubborn, and seems to think that this is all my fault. He's quite injured from what happened on the bridge.
Understood. I'll have to do a quick scan of him, make sure there's no brain damage from a possible, I don't know, concussion?
Of course, and as chief medical officer, you may be able to give him orders in the name of his own health, and I can't
True.
imagine he'll remain healthy for very long if he remains in this escape pod to freeze to death.
True. Well, shall we?
Indeed, Caissie will crack the hatch of the pod.
Seeing you walk in, Caissie, he says, "What, are you back to finish the job of finally killing me?"
I will be frank with you, Captain. You're a blithering idiot. I don't have any more time for your rambling. You've gotten us into this situation, and I intend to get us out. The exact details of what has happened here will be determined, no doubt, by a Starfleet court-martial. You're coming with us, whether you like it or not. It's your best chance for survival. We do not know when rescue will arrive. We do not know if Starfleet received our distress communications before we abandoned the expedition. The temperature outside is simply too cold. Our best bet is to find shelter and stick together.
This is all your fault, Caissie. You circumventing every order I give. You complaining about every order I give. You've been trying to
followed your
sabotage my
orders-
command every chance you get.
If I'd follow your orders, we would have gone full speed through that eddy, and the ship would have been ripped apart with no survivors. You can try and lay as much blame on me as you want if it saves your own conscience, but everyone else will know the truth. This is the end of your Starfleet career. Don't let it be the end of your life, simply over a matter of pride.
Just you watch, Caissie. In a few days, Starfleet's gonna come looking for this beacon. And when they do, it's your neck that's going to be on the line, not mine.
I'm sure. Anyway, You'll be getting on this sled and coming with us.
No, I am staying right here.
Caissie will look at the doctor.
The doctor's been scanning to get a medical base.
Insight medicine diff 0, because you've been doing it while the talking was going on. Well, I should say insight or reason, but I don't think it mattered.
It kind of did, but it's fine.
Oh, I mean, you got a crit anyway, because I'm assuming emergency medicine.
Yeah.
Gain 3. I'll send you what's wrong with them.
Captain, due to your medical condition and possible concussion, I am enacting Starfleet Regulation 121, Section A, and deeming you unfit for duty at this time until we report back to a Starfleet medical bay. You are hereby removed from command until you are deemed fit for duty.
I don't follow your orders, Doctor. You follow mine.
And the doctor's gonna hypo him into unconsciousness.
Daring medicine opposed to his security daring.
Oh
Because he's not willing.
no, I get that. You know what? I'll spend 1 momentum and 2 threat.
So I'll probably give him I'll give him a 13, I think.
Funny, that's 1 above mine.
How much threat did he give me?
2 threat. And spent 1 moment.
I'll gain 1 and I'll keep 1. Or I'll use 1 and I'll keep 1. Ooh, I don't know about a focus. He probably doesn't have a hand-to-hand focus. He has 3 successes, though.
I have 6.
6?
Did you spend the momentum?
Yeah, I spent a momentum and 2 threat.
Oh, first roll, doy. Yeah, that would be... what focus?
Xenobiology or genetics. I've got a couple that would apply. Even emergency medicine probably would apply.
I don't think so in this case, because you're trying to hypo an unwilling person.
In that case, I probably only have 3.
Yeah.
Can I assist him?
Yeah, I'll let you assist daring security.
Hand-to-hand combat for focus?
Yeah. So you guys can gain 2. And yeah, Doctor, you are you get out your hypo spray, and as you're doing so, the captain kind of is fending you off, trying to push the hypo spray away. You know, going like, no, no, no. And then Caissie comes, holds him down, and allows you to hypo spray him, and he slips into unconsciousness.
I will let you know, Commander, that me relieving him of duty and his reaction will both be noted in my log.
Thank you, Doctor. Though I don't imagine this will be the last we hear of him.
More
In the
than likely not.
meantime, let's enjoy the peace and quiet that this hypo spray has awarded us.
Of course. I should note as well, I've made a log of my reasoning for having the doctor medically evaluate the captain as well.
Very good.
If we're
So I
getting
guess at this
court-martialed,
point,
we'll get court-martialed together, Commander.
I think our case is pretty watertight. His, on the other hand, I wouldn't want to be his lawyer. Caissie will, I guess, like rip off a bulkhead and a wire to make a sled out of, and put him, start bringing him toward the shelter.
We actually already have a sled made up.
Very good. You will use the pre-made sled.
All right. Do you all start bringing everyone you can over?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need everybody to give me a fitness, security or medicine. Difficulty 1, complication 2. All right, Dr. Pearson got everyone a momentum.
Take a threat.
Nadan got everyone a momentum.
Take a threat for.
Caissie got everyone 2 more. You're giving me a threat, Mendo?
No, I'm going to use on momentum because this is not an engineering role.
All right.
And I
Take a threat.
forgot to turn the focus off. But, I do have jury ranking. I don't know if that would help.
This was fitness with security or medicine, not engineering.
Oh, yeah, and I put the wrong things.
They're low
Coda-
enough.
Yeah, Kodos, you got us 2 more.
Yeah, we're beyond caps, so.
Yeah, Mendrak got us 1 more. Well, maybe a advantage or some such. So I think you're 2 over.
Yeah.
You want me to re-roll it?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll just adjust as I need to.
I would imagine Koda would take up the rear and left a visible trail from the escape pods to the cave.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
The advantage is she left a visible trail back to the escape pods. As she was, yeah, like breadcrumbs.
Yep, that works for me. All right. So all of you are able to make it to the pods. You all check your battery life of your suits, which is really what I was having you roll for. Your batteries are still holding up despite the cold, so none of them drained any more than usual. And yeah, you make it to the ice formation with the they're not really caves, they're just openings in the ice sheet. But it's protecting you from the wind. It's still the minus 50, but you don't get the wind chill. So
There's
one
no-
step in the right direction.
There's no wood or anything, no trees.
No.
No? Okay. I was gonna say, I guess we can gather some rocks and start heating them up.
Yeah, no,
So do we have like
think like
Go ahead.
tundra here.
Yeah, so we have some like do we have some like emergency tarps or something to like start throwing up to insulate a little heat?
Is there anything I can do engineering wise that might help?
Well, there's probably nothing in the pods for like shelter type stuff.
Lieutenant Knight, do you have an engineering kit with you?
Do I have one? Because it's
Yeah, you're an engineer, so you tend to always have one.
yep. I have an engineering kit.
Could we dismantle a couple of the pods to make some makeshift shelters? Give us a little protection.
Yeah, should be able to do that. Needs to make a barrier or something.
Yeah, you guys could do that. You're gonna have the same potential battery drainage roll to get back there, to get out there and back. So you have to roll it twice, and then it'll be to roll to dismantle all that stuff.
Okay.
So
What
if people
were we
wanted
trying to
to,
dismantle? Sorry.
what was that?
What were we trying to dismantle?
Can we use the all the makeshift sleds with the parts we already have?
Yeah. I mean, they are part of the ship, so I guess you could just repurpose those. Because you figure every person would probably have one and bring whatever they could.
Yep.
So yeah, you could pretty much create an advantage or use momentum to get whatever, not whatever you need. If I think it's feasible that you would potentially be able to scavenge that.
Yeah, my thought with the sleds was like we could take pretty much anything of value from the life or the escape buds, so they're just kind of husks. But
Yeah. So if it's feasible, I would probably say that you were able to get that with your advantage creation earlier. If it's not feasible, that you would have thought to take it, that's when I'd have you spend momentum to have it part there.
Well, then can we build either some kind of temporary shelter or like a barrier for the cave to keep the heat inside, and maybe make a makeshift fire or something we can heat up?
Well, one thing at a time. So we
Yeah,
could definitely do the shelter. That's simple enough. The fire thing you guys are gonna have to talk about, and how you're gonna do that here. But yeah, for that role, it's going to be probably a controller daring with engineering. Let's make it a difficulty 3 to set up adequate wind and shelter protection. Wind and element protection.
All right. You said difficulty 3.
Yeah.
Teleportation range.
Just normal.
Normal. All right. Like to buy 2 dice, so I can roll 4. So what was that? That's 3.
Yep, 3 moments.
Probably do a threat.
Let me give you 3 threat.
Well, just you can spend 2 momentum and 1 threat. Give him 1 threat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 2 momentum and 1 threat.
I do like threat.
That might roll something.
We have the momentum, so
Yeah.
Gain 1 momentum back. And yeah, it probably takes you a few, maybe a hour and a half or so to get everything propped up. Use your torches, some phasers to weld what you need to, but you're able to at least make something to block the wind from entering the cave system. So it'll help with insulation.
Cool.
And also allowing you easy access to get in and out of it if you need to.
Yeah, I will. let
So
you
I
know.
think the problem of finding adequate shelter has been solved.
Tell Commander Caissie that I've built adequate shelter, so we shouldn't be exposed to the elements anymore. We'll still probably need some way to get some heat going, but should be
Very good, Lieutenant.
much safer.
In terms of heat, pile up some rocks and start using phasers on them at regular intervals in the meantime. If you'd be able to look through the equipment we brought from the escape pods, let me know if you think you'd be able to fashion any sort of heater. That would definitely be our next priority. After that, it'll be setting up any sorts of communication we can.
Aye, sir.
The
How much
doctor's gonna walk.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Is the doctor's gonna walk up to the commander and go, Commander,
Yes, Doctor?
the captain's injuries will require me to do what I can for him here to attempt to get him a little bit more stable. I couldn't really work on him with everything freezing out there, but it's going to keep me busy for a while.
Well, you tend to the captain and the other injured as you see fit. I won't be calling upon you for any of the other labor duties, of course.
Understood. Just wanted to keep you informed. If you need a detail of his specific injuries, I'll be more than happy to give them to you.
Well, do you think he'll live?
Unless we can get him to a medical bay within, I don't know, possibly a couple days? No.
Do what you can. I doubt there's a medical bay available on this planet.
Agreed.
Yeah. How much emergency food do we have? See, for water we can just melt snow, but
Yeah, you probably only have food for a few days.
man, these escape pods suck. They don't have anything.
I had to this is the episode is trying to survive this planet. I didn't want to give you everything.
Well, start looking for some fruits or roots to boil. I guess is gonna be next priority. So
Yeah, look for rocks to, or something to make some heat.
We should probably ration our supplies.
Yeah. Commander, I recommend that we try to see if I can boost the transmission power of the transmitter in the pods. If we can amplify the signal, it makes it more likely that we'll get rescued faster.
so do we have to use the shuttle pod for that, or do you think that we would be able to build a sort of communications array near the shelter, like at the top of the ravine?
So you wanted to set up like a transmitter? Distress beacon call, basically?
Yeah, basically a souped up distress beacon.
You
one that
you
could
are probably
hopefully.
you're probably gonna have to salvage one of the comm systems from the pods, which theoretically they have all the parts here of one of them probably.
Okay.
So yeah, it really it's just a case of where do you want to set it up? I'll have a roll for you.
If we can get it close to the caves, that'll be better because it makes it less likely that the rescuers will get turned around.
Well, Lieutenant, if you think you can salvage one of the communication systems, I can accompany you back on the surface to one of the escape pods. I guess whichever one's nearest. In the meantime, we could also do a survey and look for any edible roots that could keep us sustained for a while longer, at least.
I would suggest we look at one of the other pods other than the ones we were in. We know that one has a damaged comm system. If we can salvage an intact one, we'll be better off.
Agreed. Whenever you're ready to head out, I'm good to go. Dr. Pearson, be leaving you in charge in my absence if you aren't too busy with the captain.
Understood, Commander.
All right, we'll deal with Caissie and Nadine in the next scene for that. So which problem did you guys want to tackle first for rolls?
So, what are we trying to do again? I'm just we're trying to make a heat generator, right? Or I guess set up a generator at all, because was there like I imagine there was emergency generators in the kit, right? Or like some battery cells.
Yeah, you could probably get a few batteries, but there's not any
Yeah, there.
heaters.
Mendrock has that. Yeah, so I guess work on getting like a makeshift heater of some sort set up.
All right, you guys decide which form that wants to take, and I'll set up the rolls. Prax had an idea with the rocks and phasers. I think there's an idea using salvageable parts to make a heater.
I guess I was thinking the heating up rocks as a temporary measure, and then try and get a heater going that would be a little bit warmer and could just be left on.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to have the rocks as a temporary / backup, and then try to engineer or build a working heating system, or at least a temporary one anyway. Maya has jury rigging, which may be useful for some of this as a focus.
All right, I think there's 2 rolls here, because I think you guys have 2 ideas, and I'll let you do both. It'll be control security difficulty 2 to find adequate rocks to heat up with a phaser. And then the other task could be control or insight with engineering difficulty 3 comp 2 to make a heater from what you were able to salvage.
I can support on the engineering role. I suspect that we probably want the engineer to actually lead it.
Yeah, I'm definitely into that one. The security role is not my cup of tea. Although Knight does have a security gun for free.
Coda could do the security role, so take a threat.
That,
Ooh, got a 1. Okay, yeah, gain 2 momentum for that. And yeah, so as Knight gets to work, Coda gets busy finding rocks and setting the phaser on low energy to heat them up to provide a little bit of heat. Maybe warming the caves up maybe 5 or so degrees, but it's definitely not enough to sustain you without the suits for a long time.
Alright. I'd like to spend 2 momentum and 1 threat. 4 dice. And will jury reheat work?
Yeah. Yep. You'll definitely take that here.
Alright.
Because that is basically what you're doing. Oh, wow. You gain 4 momentum out of that. Yeah, expertly, Knight is able to create several heaters from the parts she's able to scavenge. And, you guys are noticing that the caverns are starting to feel, a little bit homey. The temperature's gone up significantly. It's probably around -20 still, but, combined with your suits and, maybe a few of the emergency blankets, you could probably at least survive for a while with this setup. Obviously, power reserves are going to be an issue in the future, but for now, this should work.
Good work, Lieutenant Knight.
Thank you, sir.
Lieutenant Nadon, if you're ready. How much time do we have left in the day? We're good to head out to the
Yeah.
pod, right? Okay.
Yep. But I am going to have you guys give me a difficulty 2, complication 3, for that either fitness security or fitness medicine roll. Diff 2, comp 3.
I will spend momentum for an extra die.
And as much as you need. We have max. I'll get it back. Take a threat. Wow, that didn't go very well.
Oh, wow.
Well, that didn't go very well.
Oh, wow. Okay. What do you do with the complication?
Okay, Aaron doesn't like us anymore.
I'll push it for. Now we have momentum. I'll just spend it. 2 to quash, yeah.
Okay. So you guys set out to get to the escape pods. When you get there, both of you notice that your suits are probably only at 25% power.
Crap.
Lieutenant, do you think you'd be able to recharge the batteries with whatever recharge the suits with whatever battery the escape pod has?
That's a good idea, Commander. I can certainly try.
All right. While you guys are trying to figure that out, I have somewhere else to go. We'll go to a new scene. On board Deep Space 17, a few officers find themselves enjoying one of Deep Space 17's many, many recreational halls. As they are excited about their new posting aboard the USS Byron, one of Starfleet's brand new Intrepid class ships. And so we will have what are you, an ensign? Lieutenant Wagner, Lieutenant Commander Krim, and I think you're Lieutenant Commander Degas? Is that how you would say that?
Oh, you're referring to my half-Klingon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we find Lieutenant Commander DeGrasse, Lieutenant Commander Krim, and Lieutenant Wagner not having met yet, but enjoying a drink at the bar here.
Oh, okay. And this is Deep Space 17?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. She is probably drinking blood wine. Because her Klingon sign is her primary sign.
So what brings you to so the bartender will speak up. What brings you to Deep Space 17?
Scientific study. Need to study the universe.
Assigned to one of the science labs here?
Yes. Hoping to get out in the starship. Something too.
Mendrak, you got your orders to the Byron already.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, you all have your orders.
Oh. Cool. Well. Can be assigned to a starship, apparently.
Oh, we've had a lot of starships coming through. Which one?
The Byron? Know anything about that one?
I know
the
my new ship. Alex will lean over with a broad grin. Nice to meet you. She extends her hand.
A pleasure. Jake.
I'm Alex. Where are you?
Nicholas?
Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Guess we'll be crewmates.
I guess so.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. She'll say, turning back to the barkeep.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is that one of those new ships that have been here recently? We have starships coming and going all the time recently.
Do I know how new it is?
It's you guys know that it's brand new, newly built.
Oh, so it hasn't even had a maiden flight probably yet.
So new, I bet the paint hasn't even dried yet.
Oh, all that fresh lab scent and the newness of everything. That's for me. So much fun. Much better than the colony I was on for so many years.
Uh-oh. Hopefully there it goes.
You two are assigned to the Byron?
Yes.
Well, looks like you'll be with me, then.
Oh, pleasure to meet you.
Same
meet
here. Lieutenant Commander Krim, acting captain of the Byron.
Oh, well, hello, sir.
You're the boss. Got it.
Lieutenant Commander, DeGrasse. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Same here.
I'm Lieutenant Alex Wagner.
Well, Wagner, if the reports are anything, it'll be great to have a hotshot pilot like you behind the helm.
I am quite good at it. And very humble as well. You might notice that.
Yeah, last time I had another hotshot pilot on the last ship I served on. Of course, I was in engineering at the time. But, they almost flew right into a comet.
I try to avoid doing that. I hear it's bad for the ship.
Bad for everybody's health, too.
Indeed. Great for scientific study, but no flying into it. At least not purposely.
Well, unless you're trying to hide from, oh, I don't know, some Dominion patrol.
Oh, I mean, that would be a suitable reason to hide.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer to try to not get shot at. That'd be good.
Yeah, the Klingon blood in me wants to fight, but I'm not more of a scientist than a warrior.
Well,
Although I can hold my own if needed.
well, on the upside, at least with the Intrepid, unlike with a trading vessel, we have guns, so that's helpful.
That's true.
So we've got science, con. Anybody know who our security officer is supposed to be?
I haven't heard.
Neither have I, actually.
Hold on. I think I've got his name here somewhere on my pad. First time ever taking the chair. Out of character. Which one was it?
Bedden.
Ah, there it is. It's Benton. Wonder if if he's here. With a cursory glance, do I see him anywhere?
Just sent it to you.
Ah. Oh, great. Looks like he's not going to make it this trip.
How come?
In sickbay, laid up with the Tarkalian flu.
That's unfortunate. I hope he feels better soon.
Same here. Well, let's see. Who else? Who else? I mean, I don't know who they've got slotted for the first officer slot.
Oh, there you are, Lieutenant Commander. As a lieutenant comes up to you.
And you would be Lieutenant
Oh, I'm Lieutenant Vogel, the station's XO.
Vogel. Ah, yes. What can I do for you?
It's convenient that I found you all here. I finally have your orders. It appears that you'll be reporting to the Byron at 0800 tomorrow morning. And it appears there you'll be meeting your new XO.
Okay. Any idea as to what our first mission will be?
Looks like gonna look for the expedition. Was wondering why the commander ordered that ship to be launched quicker.
Well, if it's a search and rescue mission, that definitely makes sense as to the rush job.
Are there any ideas as to what could have happened to the expedition, that is?
The reports just say it went missing a couple days ago. It's missed its last 2 check-ins.
And that's not normal.
There's not a lot that'll make a ship that big go AWOL for that long.
Any idea what they were doing when they went missing?
Their mission parameters states that they were starting to map the subspace eddies that were emanating from the Ebon Expanse.
Well, if they got caught in one of those, I mean, best option would be that their communications got knocked out. Worst?
Probably doesn't bear thinking about, Commander.
Agreed.
But your captain should be arriving here by 1900 hours. I think she wants to get a debrief from her command staff, which I believe is all of you.
Wait, Captain? I thought you said the XO was showing up.
Sorry, I misspoke. I meant the commanding officer.
Well, takes a load off my shoulders then.
Who's gonna be the new captain?
Vogel will tap her data pad a little bit. Oh. That's interesting. It looks like Captain Prax is back.
You sound like you know her.
Yeah, I've served with her a little bit. She's a good captain.
Well, that's good.
Just be careful around the Ebon Expanse, especially try to stay clear of those eddies.
Yeah, subspace eddies can rip a starship in half.
It's not that, it's the gravimetric field that it creates. It acts like a magnet on your warp core, on your warp field. If you do get caught in one of those, I have the specifications here for a pulse that should neutralize the gravimetric field, allowing you to escape, just in case. I'll pass that pad off to the science officer here.
Yeah, she will look over the pad and the information.
I just had to take the sentry out to rescue the quasar from one of those subspace eddies.
Yeah,
This is what we use to get it out of it. But there's no reason why it can't be adapted for a ship to get itself out.
that is something that would be useful to look into about attaching it to keep the pirate safe.
Also, if you have any existing data from what surveying was done, I'd appreciate it getting a chance to review it before we head out tomorrow.
Yeah, the navigational data has been sent to your computer already. However, with the ever-changing nature of the Ebon Expanse, it's hard to keep an accurate graph for more than a few hours, or a few days for that matter. But your ship is fast and nimble enough, you shouldn't have too many problems navigating around.
Right about that. And with the way the warp drive works, it should be stable even at higher speeds. At least according to what I've seen from the records of the Voyager. The Intrepid class seems to be a lot better in that regard.
Wouldn't mind piloting one myself one day. But I've taken enough of your time. I just wanted to make sure you got your orders. I still have a few more crew members to hand deliver orders to. Just wanted to make sure you knew that Captain Prax was arriving tonight. She did request a meeting with the senior staff, at least.
Well, I know for a fact that Bedden won't be able to make it. I believe sickbay has him in isolation right now.
I guess I could drop his orders off with the doctor then. Well, if you'll excuse me. Good luck on your mission. And Vogel will exit.
Oh. Not even a chance to issue one order from the captain's chair.
Yeah, it seems, wonder what that's all about. But, guess I have some work to do. As I start looking over the pad more.
Well, now that the mood has been deflated, I guess we should go meet with the new boss. No offense.
None taken. In a way, I'm actually grateful that I don't have to worry about captaining the ship.
Captain's chair tends to make people into jerks anyway.
Hey.
Yeah, it would probably be good to go meet our new captain.
Yeah, just don't break my engines.
Well, I mean,
I'll try not to.
I hope not to have to deal with the engines.
Shouldn't have to. As far as I know, that'll wind up being my job.
Oh, are you going to be right back to engineering then? Instead of command?
Either that or acting XO until they get an actual XO. I don't know.
Yes, I suppose so, yes. Well, she finishes the rest of her blood wine and gets up.
All right, nicely done, everybody. We will head back to the planet of ice. All right. So DeGrasse and Caissie, you get up to where you left the escape pods. And overhead, as you begin work on trying to salvage some of the communication devices from one of the pods, you think you can hear the sound of ships flying through the atmosphere.
I look up.
Run out with some tricorders. Any energy signatures?
Yeah, so your tricorders will pick this up, and even Nadon will see small shuttle-like crafts flying overhead, almost directly above the pod's landing site. They're kind of flying almost in a circle around.
Do I recognize the type of shuttle?
You do not.
I assume I don't either.
No, totally new to you.
Lieutenant, let's make this trip fast if you wouldn't mind.
You don't need to tell me twice, Commander. Let's go.
Yeah, and just while we're heading back, I think we still want to scan for some like edible roots, but we're not collecting anything. I guess we just want to run.
All right.
Like get what we need and get back.
Yeah. So since you're hurrying to try to get everything done, this is going to be a control or daring engineering difficulty 3. Spend the threat to make it 3.
Can I assist?
Yeah.
Control engineering, you say?
Yes.
Alrighty. I will spend... I'll spend the momentum for extra dice. 2 extra dice, that is. Good thing I did.
Team dynamics for focus to help her.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take that. All right, you gain momentum back. And yeah, both of you are very quickly able to grab what you believe you need for the emergency beacon, and you book it back toward the shelter.
Very good.
And as you're making your way back toward the shelter, you notice off in the distance, not directly above where you landed, you see another one of those strange ships circling above another, probably maybe a kilometer or 2 away from your landing pad. And you kind of see it swoop down toward the planet's surface. It's circling, then all of a sudden it changes direction and flies toward the planet's surface. And just as quickly as that happens, it flies back up and flies back into space.
Ominous. I can only hope they have good intentions, but considering they haven't landed and greeted us, I'm not entirely hopeful.
Yeah, I would rather not make first contact with anyone marooned on an ice world, Commander. With no way off.
Well, the best we can do is focus on the task at hand and keep our phasers ready.
I'll keep that in mind, Commander.
Why is it not playing the wind?
It's you have to through the jukebox.
Last time I went on there, it played the wind. Now it's not.
I turned it on.
Okay. Said you turned it on? There it is. All right, so you two make your way back. So back at the camp, Doctor, you were working on the captain. So you have all your things from the initial scan. The broken legs, the dislocated hip, broken ribs, some internal injuries. Which problem would you like to tackle? Because they're all problems.
I think the internal bleeding is going to be the most immediate problem to deal with.
Yeah, so the bleeding's coming from his ruptured spleen. This will require minor surgery in order to fix.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so I got to add a whole bunch of negatives here. So normal difficulty under ideal conditions will probably be a difficulty 1 for this because it's pretty simple. But you're not in a sick bay. That'll be diff 2. You don't have ideal tools. That'll be another difficulty. So diff 3. And, definitely location is going to be an issue. So I'm going to make this a difficulty 4. And I have threat to make it diff 4 comp 2.
And with my talent for field medicine, I can knock off one of those.
All right, so it'll be diff 3 then.
So let's see here.
First time field medicines come into play.
Yeah, for situations like this, it can probably be pretty handy. Let's see here. I'd like to spend my determination on the patient is everything.
Yeah, that would apply.
And then, how about... Looks like all I can really do is spend 1 momentum for a third die, or 1 momentum and 1 threat for another dice. And I'm guessing emergency medicine would count as a focus?
Yep.
Come on.
All right, take the top one. That'll be 5 successes. Gain 2 momentum. And yeah, you're able to grab one of your laser scalpels from the med kit, and you're able to use one of the combination of the laser scalpel and the dermal regenerator to cauterize the bleeding and stop the internal bleeding.
Alrighty.
So he's not in danger of bleeding to death, but he does have other issues.
Yeah. I guess I'll get started on like all the broken bones, but like this is something that I know that he can survive with for now.
Yeah. I would say the main issue here would be the dislocated hip, because it is preventing blood flow from going to the limbs.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, that would probably be best.
Because like the legs, you could just put a splint on and the ribs will heal themselves.
Yeah. As
But
long
unless
as they're set properly.
Yeah, but unless you want to cut off a leg, you might have to set the hip.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna make the hip a Diff 2 Comp 3.
Wow, okay.
It's not hard to pop it in, but you know, a lot of problems can arise.
Right, yeah. You know what? I get to use another one of my talents. Practice makes perfect.
Read that one to me.
Once per scene, after the character has succeeded at a medicine task relating to the treatment of a patient, reduce the difficulty of the next medicine task relating to that patient by 1.
Yeah. Probably applies here. It's almost like your doctor was built for the situation.
Completely unintended, but yeah. So yeah, let's take 1 momentum because I've got cautious. And I'm guessing my emergency medicine focus goes away because this isn't really an emergency type deal. It's just...
Yeah, I'll buy your explanation. To not give you something good.
But my xenobiology focus might come into play.
No. You're both human, I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't think xenobiology would help you set a hip.
No, and genetics wouldn't help either, so...
Yeah, but you gain a momentum out of that. And yeah, with your support staff, you kind of tie one of your jackets around them and just kind of pull, and you hear a snap indicating that the hip did replace back in.
Alrighty then. In that case, everything that's left is just to make sure that his broken bones are set properly and splint them.
Yep, this will probably just be a Diff 2. This one's not that hard. Yeah, Diff 2 normal cop.
Okay. I spent a momentum on that last one. We should be at 1 because I think I gained 2 on the first one. And I spent 1 on the first one as well. And then I think I just gained 1, so we should be at 2.
Yep. And yeah. Yeah, you're able to expertly set the bones, and you use some of the stuff from your carts, you know, some of the bulkheads, you know, sturdy bulkheads and stuff to create splints around both legs.
Alrighty.
And yeah, like I said, the bones will heal on the ribs will heal on their own. So yeah, he's out of the woods.
Oh, good.
So I think the only thing you guys were, I think the thing you guys were looking at was potential food sources.
Yeah, we're looking for some, like, I don't know, any kind of vegetation or, yeah, edible. Even in tundra, usually there's, like, yeah, some edible roots, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, probably the people who are in the ravine will do that, as you and Nadon are still running back to your base. So whoever's there and wants to do that.
Maybe some tasty cave mushrooms.
Grub worms.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
What's the role for that?
I'm pretty flexible with this one. It could be science, it could be security, it could be con. Difficulty would probably just be 2, I think.
Is it insight or control or?
Sorry, I had to yawn there. We could go insight, we could go control, we could go reason. It's pretty broad for this one.
Take a threat. See if I can get a momentum. Nope. So close.
All right, so Coda, after having set the fire and watching everyone else work, you decide to look for an alternate food source. And under some of the rocks, you find a type of worm that's pretty high in protein. You know, they're probably the worms are probably about 10 centimeters long. Pretty hairy. You know, for adapt to the surviving cold climate, so they have, they're pretty thick, have some hair on it to help them withstand the cold temperatures. But yeah, you think with their high protein value, they should provide some nourishment for you.
She'll start collecting worms.
It's just like Gawk.
Oh, this is probably worse than Gah.
Yeah. All right. Caissie, you and Nadon are heading back toward your cavern, and at this point, all of you hear this. You hear what sounds like a ship flying close to your ravine, kind of, flying over it, I would say. You just hear like this loud engine noise kind of flying over your ravine. And Caissie and Nadon, as you're running back, you see one of those ships fly directly over your camp.
But our presence here is a secret. How close are we to the camp?
Maybe 200 meters or so.
We'll quicken the pace, I suppose.
All right, and as you start to drop down into the ravine, along one of the sides of the ridges, you can make out 2 figures kind of sitting on the ravine cliff, overlooking the entrance to your camp. They're very what you could see is that whatever these things are, they're pretty slender, and they're maybe a meter and a half tall, if that.
We're getting chased by Slenderman. Get it.
But what you can make out is that they kind of they're bird-like in shape, but they have these dark, deep red eyes that you can make out even in the sunlight.
I guess. So are we at the camp now?
Yeah, you're probably, if you kept moving while watching them, you're probably right at the camp entrance now.
Lieutenant, bring this equipment. Let's bring this equipment inside. I may have to go introduce myself to these fellows. Case we'll call it to the doctor if he's in the camp.
Yep.
Dr. Pearson, this is Commander Caissie.
Pearson here.
I assume you heard of the ships flying over?
Faint, but I believe I could make them out. Was it Starfleet?
Negative. Unidentified. And we do seem to have visitors now near the camp.
Oh.
Whatever personnel you can spare, I'd like to go out and meet them.
I'll see what I can scrounge up, Commander. It'll probably wind up being mostly security, though.
Judging by what I saw of them, that's fine.
Understood. Anything else?
Lieutenant Nadon is bringing the equipment to set up a potential communication array, so if someone could start working on that, that's definitely our next priority.
It's probably going to be Mendrock to help her out with that.
I think we have Knight.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, sorry. It's probably going to be Knight to do that.
Very well. Caissie out.
Knight,
Yes, sir.
you're going to be needed probably either at the entrance or on the edge of the ravine to help Nadon set up communication.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Certainly. Oh, very
Did
much
Coda-
so.
Did Coda go with Caissie or not? I don't think so.
Coda's in the cave.
Coda,
Yes, Doctor.
you might want to get a squad together and head up to meet Caissie. We might have trouble incoming.
Yes, sir. And she walks over to the doctor's like, dinner, and hands him a bunch of worms and proceeds outside the cave.
Well, high in nutritional value.
So it's just Knight going out with Caissie? Or is there anybody else?
Coda's going out with Caissie. I think Knight's going with Nadon.
Yeah, everyone with the dawn. Yeah.
Do you set up the beacon or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. All right, who would you like to go to first?
I guess whether the other stuff happens really depends on what interaction Caissie has with the unidentified species.
All right. So I'll do this first. So Caissie, you're probably standing outside just, keeping an eye on them, right? While everyone gets into position.
Yep.
right.
Where Knight and Nadon are setting up the communications, are they like within visual of me as potential reinforcements?
It depends where you want them to set up at.
Like I guess at the top, just at the top, as close as possible, at the top of the ravine, as close as possible to the camp where they can get a good signal, but we don't have to go far to operate it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you could probably just go to the edge of the ravine, and you should have clear sight lines.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so as all four of you are standing there, you notice that those two are still just looking at you. They'll occasionally glance at each other, but then they always move their heads back and look directly at you.
He will approach cautiously.
And as you and Coda make your way, both of these things take to the air, with expanding out wings, and they just fly in a circle around you.
They within like talking range or like yelling?
Maybe.
He'll shout out then as he walks sort of closer. My name is Commander Arno Caissie of the Federation Starfleet. We were on a mission of peaceful exploration when we were stranded here.
You hear nothing, but they are just circling above you and your camp.
Do you understand what I am saying?
You wait a few moments, and again, nothing is returned. They're just flying. Both of those creatures are just flying in a circle above you. I'm going to cut over to Nadon and Knight, who are in position to start setting up the beacon. Setting this up is pretty simple. I'm just going to give this, since I got threat, I'm going to make this a difficulty 4 task. Diff 4. Both of you can assist. One can assist.
Yeah. You want me to assist Adon? Or how you want to do this?
Adon, you there?
Sorry, what?
You and Knight are setting up the communication beacon. It's a Diff 4 task, and there
Okay.
can be an assist.
Cool.
Mendrak was just asking who's doing the role.
If Knight's here, Knight is probably better than I am at it.
Are we doing engineering, science? What are we doing?
It'd be control or daring with engineering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do control engineering then.
All right, I'll assist.
And, I'll give you 1 threat and 2 momentum for 4 dice. And, jury rigging is a focus.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And is the complication range
Normal.
normal? Okay. Reroll a 1.
Come on, complication. Boo. Counting 6 successes, so you gain 2. All right, both of you work quickly to get the beacon set up, and it gets set up, and it's giving out a good, clear subspace distress signal. You know, it's working as advertised. Since you guys can kind of get a good lay of the land, off in the distance, you can make out what appears to be somebody in a Starfleet uniform. You know, kind of making your way towards your camp. They're too far away to tell who it is, but they're definitely wearing a Starfleet uniform. You can kind of see that they're kind of shivering cold, you know, walking slowly, you know, snow and windswept, you know, their head and faces, you know, it kind of looks like they probably have frostbite forming.
Trying to,
But up above them are 2 more creatures circling ahead.
Tap my helm edge and notify Commander Caissie that there's a incoming Starfleet personnel that looks like they have frostbite and need immediate help. And I'm gonna get the doctor ready.
Yep, go ahead and roleplay it.
So I call the doctor too.
Pearson
Okay.
here. Go ahead, Knight.
We see another survivor, another Starfleet personnel coming this way. They look like they might be suffering from frostbite and maybe hypothermia or something. 2 of those alien life forms are circling above them. I don't know if we want to send somebody out to try and help them get here, or what you want
He
to
has
do.
frostbite. If he has frostbite and hypothermia, then it would probably be best. But I would keep an eye on those 2 alien life forms. He needs to get here as quickly as possible.
Alright, well,
I will try to move toward the Starfleet officer who just fell on the ground.
So both of you, so Mendrak, as you're saying this, Nadan, you notice this too, that Starfleet officer you're watching fell to the ground.
okay, well, I'm right
And
here.
just as they do that, both of those creatures swoop down and grab that Starfleet officer and fly off in the distance. This happens so quickly that you're barely able to move a couple steps toward them. As soon as they fall, these 2 creatures just dive down, grab them, and fly in the opposite direction.
Well, great. Well, that's a security issue. Can I don't suppose my phaser is gonna reach.
No, they're 300 meters.
Yeah. Well,
You could see this because you had a good vantage point.
yeah, well, I'm gonna see if I can track them with the tricorder and notify Commander Caissie that we have possible hostile aliens.
Yep, go ahead and roleplay the Caissie.
Commander Caissie, the injured Starfleet officer has been taken by the 2 aliens circling above. There's no way we can get to them in time. I don't.
This is concerning. They don't
Yeah.
seem to be understanding, or at least responding to what I am saying either.
They didn't
However, we
seem
cannot still
hostile.
presume hostile intent.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we don't know what's going on, so.
Like,
Well,
keep
the
your
beacon.
phasers close. If they make any move for you, respond to it. But continue with your mission.
Well, the beacon is set up, sir. So we are free to do whatever is needed.
In that case, return to the camp. It seems to be the safest place right now, considering the current situation.
Aye, sir.
Aye, sir.
As you both make your way to the camp, this is for Nadan and Knight. You hear another ship, another one of those smaller ships, flying directly toward where your escape pods landed. And it hovers over it and lands at your escape pods where they landed.
Notify.
Or I should say, you think it lands where your escape pods are.
Well, notify Coda and the commander when they get back, or give them a call on the way back again.
And Caissie, those two creatures are still just circling above you, above your camp. Red Eyes still trained on the both of you.
Commander, I don't like the looks of this.
Never do I. But we still have no confirmation of hostile intent. For all we know, they were trying to help that crew member. We didn't see them attack them.
If they were trying to help us, sir, with all due respect, don't you think they would have tried to make contact?
I would think that, but if there's one thing I've learned in my Starfleet career, things are often not as we would expect. Regardless, I do agree that the tactical situation here is not optimal. Let's return to the camp and see how they react to our movements. Keep close eye on them.
What about the leftover supplies at the escape pods?
We did everything right.
What's that?
Ensign Coda asked about the supplies at the escape pods, but we took pretty much, like, if they're looting the escape pods, they're just getting, like, wires and metal, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think we have everything of value, Ensign. They can strip the escape pods, but I'm sure they'll find much of use.
I recommend we keep at least 2 personnel on watch at the entrance at all times, sir.
Agreed. Put together a watch rotation when we get back.
We should also try to at least communicate with any other survivors that may be out there to make sure that they avoid or seek shelter immediately.
That would be my next priority now that our array is set up.
And just as you're talking, you hear your combat chirp and kind of gargle. Or not gargle, but like make a static sound.
Hello? This is Commander Caissie. Who's trying to reach me?
When you hit your comm badge, it doesn't make any noise.
Can my tricorder determine the source of the signal or clarify a signal? I don't know if they're like linked or something. Seems like a thing that would happen.
I'll just give you this.
It appears that they've cut off communications through the escape pods. We'll have to reroute them to the new communications array. Did Nadon and Knight already get back to the camp?
We could have them running up to your camp now.
Yeah. He'll just
Down the ravine toward the opening.
yeah, he'll meet up with them and tell them that in person, I guess.
Yep. Go ahead and roleplay now. They just got to you.
Lieutenant, the whatever beings that are watching us seem to have cut off all our communications going through the communications arrays of the escape pods. We're going to have to reroute it to the communications array.
Okay.
How close is the communications array? Can we guard it from, or can the guard of the camp also watch it?
No, it's a bit far, and it's on top of the ravine to get the best signal. It's probably 150 meters away. The other issue is that that relay can basically only do one thing. It could either loop your comms together, or it can send out the distress call. It cannot do both.
In that case, we'll keep the distress call going.
Might have been better said in roleplay, but
yeah, I'll get.
Pretend Knight said that, or
Yep.
Nadon said that.
Yeah, we'll keep playing the distress signal then, and yeah, head back to the camp and start mounting guards.
Sarah, I'll start getting a head count of all survivors here.
Very good, Ensign. Report to me with your results.
Yes, sir.
All right. One final scene. We'll head back to Deep Space 17. As Captain Prax, you walk into one of the many conference rooms on Deep Space 17, and you find these four individuals waiting for you. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm not.
Good morning.
Captain.
Lieutenant Commander Krem, is that correct?
That is correct, Captain.
What's the status of the ship?
Status of the ship, as far as the engineering aspect is concerned, is ready to go. As soon as the command crew and a couple others board, she'll be ready to depart, as we are slated for by 0800 tomorrow.
Understood. Double check with the quartermaster, make sure we have all available supplies needed for search and rescue. Lieutenant Degas? Degas? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make sure the I'm gonna try to get used to this name. Byron.
Yeah.
Double check the sensor array, make sure everything is fully operational. If there's any tweaking you do, get with Lieutenant Commander Krim here.
Aye, Captain.
It is good to see you again, Lieutenant Bedin. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll have a large security detachment available to you, so please make all available preparations for search and rescue operations.
Yes, Captain.
And it's Lieutenant Wagner.
Yes. That's right, Captain.
Have you been given the briefing from Lieutenant Vogel on the gravimetric eddies along with the subspace issues dealing with currently around the Ebon Expanse?
Yes, and she also flagged that due to the high level of instability, what charts we have are probably going to be out of date by the time we get there. I'd advise a cautious approach if we can be carefully scanning for any eddies. That would be the safest approach.
Plot a course the best you can towards the last known location of the expedition. Also try to get update status of the current area of space the other ships have been scanning. Hopefully that will give you a heads up before we arrive.
Sure thing, Captain.
And on that note, I'm sure everyone you've aware that been informed already. I am Captain Azril Prax, the former commanding officer of the expedition. My commission currently is temporarily until we find and locate or potentially save the crew of the expedition. But with that, do any of you have any questions for me?
Yes, Captain. I noticed while I was going over the crew roster that the ship doesn't have an XO slated. Is that someone you're is that going to be filled by the time we leave tomorrow, or?
Unfortunately not. We'll be operating on a skeleton crew, so you will have to fulfill double duties for the time being, Lieutenant Commander.
Understood. Just wanted to make sure that my role was known by me before we headed out.
Well, if that is everything, then I will see all of you bright and early tomorrow morning for the vessel's maiden voyage. You're dismissed.
Right. Was there anything else anybody wanted to do before we wrap up today?
This could be done the next session also, but I would like to go over any crew logs from the expedition before they went missing.
Yeah. I figure a lot of that will happen between episodes. If not, we'll take care of it right at the start. Also gives the expedition crew time to write their logs.
Well, it's to get an idea of what's been going on with the ship. So this.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than that, she will check in with Caissie. Or Caissie.
Yep. Alrighty. So yeah, if there's nothing else, I think that will be a good opportunity to end it for today.